what would you advise? Or I'm not sure people come to you and say, "Hey, I want to be an interviewer. I want to be a reviewer too. What do I have to do?" Are there any specific things that you would suggest to them as far as getting their stuff over to you?
No, I would just say, we're always open to having new people on the team, new people to come in and write stuff for us. So, just reach out to me on Twitter or through my email address, which is Blu Gilliand, like you see it on the screen, at gmail.com. And just, pitch me an idea, and then we'll go from there. Like I said, we're always looking for new people, new contributors, new voices, new ideas. So yeah, there's nothing special to it other than having a good idea and the ability to communicate that idea well, and we can talk.
I think it's fantastic that you're not as picky, I guess I'll say, as a word. I don't know if that's the right word, but you're certainly not as picky as long as it's something that is just great content from great authors that fans would enjoy reading. So
Yeah,
that's
we when I have reviews come in of older books, I mean, I don't have a problem running those because there are still people who've not heard of that book, and this may be their way to discover that. So it helps the readers, it helps the authors, of course, the same way. That a book's been out for 6 months or a year, people aren't talking about it, and we can throw a review up and maybe get a few more eyes on it. So that works out well. We try and prioritize when we have reviews of stuff that is advanced, that is, we want to get those reviews in there first so that we can be a couple of weeks or a week or so ahead of the day
right.
that the book actually publishes. But yeah, I've got some reviews that I haven't used yet, but we'll be using, that are books from 2021, 2020, that
Okay.
they're good books, they're good reviews. And when we have a gap in the week when we need to publish something, we'll pull one of those and use it. And yeah, like I said, it works good for the reader and good for the writer too.
Honestly, I don't even know why I review books sometimes. I'm such a slow, slow reader. It's like, it's almost I have a stack of all these books, and I see on social media all these great writers that are putting all these books out, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, hey, that's great, keep them coming. But at the same time, like, can you slow down a little bit here, or and that be, and so it's fantastic that I mean, I've got even little books between reviews. I'll go back and I'll read a book that I primarily know is just going to be for pleasure, and it's fantastic to know that gotta say, like yours, like Cemetery Dance, that I'm like, okay, I'll sit down and it's been a while. I read this 6 months ago, and I've done that a couple times with you, Blue, where I've said, hey, would you be interested in taking this? And it's so good because it gives a great book another fresh breath of air as well, and hopefully breathes a bit more new life into it, and helps to make that connection, which is, I think, is pretty awesome.
I
Started.
definitely feel your
Oh,
pain when it comes to trying to keep up with books that you want to read, and then you've got books that you need to review, and it all kind of gets on top of each other, and it's like, man, I really want to read these 3 books that came out this week, but I've got this book that's coming out next week that I need to finish, and this book that came out a month ago that I'm supposed to have reviewed by now. And yeah, it can get overwhelming at times. A lot of our reviewers, I'll see them or hear from them that I've just got so much, and
yeah.
it's hard to keep up with. But you do the best you can, and I think most of the authors are just glad to have reviews of their books, whether they're right before the book comes out or 6 months after.